So today I want to talk about giving up. You know, a lot of people give up because they don't see the results that they want to see when they want to see them. However, if you give up, you still going to have something that you're struggling through, right? So let's say, for example, like with me, I worked for the city of New York for over 10 years. And I enjoyed my job, and I was moving up and moving around, becoming a supervisor, getting different promotions and everything. But something in me was like, you know, you need to move to Maryland. And I see now why, because of the things that are about to happen in 2020, I think are going to solidify that. And this has been like 6 years in the making, because I think when I was pregnant with my daughter, that's 5 now, or right when she was born, it was like when I started to hear that voice in my head, like, you gotta move to Maryland, you gotta move to Maryland, you need to move to Maryland. So that's another story that I've told before and I can tell again. Anyway, I was happy there in New York, but if you live in New York and you have more than one child, you know the cost of living is bananas. Like, it was really, really raping my pockets, okay? Like, it's crazy how much you have to pay for certain things. Like, my son, he's 12 now, but when we were there, I think he was around like 7 or 8 years old, and he was doing swimming, and I found free swimming classes for him, so he was good. But I wanted to step it up and not have him go just once a week. The place that I wanted him to go to, or I think every month, was like $320. And it was in a prominent area. It's like on 90-something Street. I think it was like 96th Street and First Ave. So if you know New York, you know that place over there is expensive. So I couldn't afford that. You know, like, I'm going to take $300 out of my house every week or month or whatever it was to go ahead and pay for that. And then I had another child too that, you know, I wanted her to do stuff too. So anyway, I just decided that it would be better for us to move to Maryland. I had the talk with my husband, and, you know, he's very supportive, so he was just on board. So I'm just thinking about if I had not taken that leap of faith and said, well, I'm going to stay in New York. Now, again, cost of living, prices was going up. We had 3 children. We were in a 2-bedroom apartment. We needed more space. We were looking for 3 bedrooms, but we had a 2-bedroom with 2 bathrooms. Now, the 3 bedrooms with 1 bathroom, they wanted like $2,000 for it. And we were already paying about $1,400 for it. And that was cheap, okay? And we lived in the Bronx, which of course now is up and coming. And, you know, all abandoned and burnt out buildings are being reclaimed and remodeled. And, you know, everything is being rehabilitated in the Bronx. So that means that all the rent is going up. So I feel like we jumped out at a really good time, because where we are now, we have more space. The kids are able to do a lot more activities. And even though we drive everywhere, it just makes things a lot easier instead of everybody having to pay a fare to get on the train or the bus. So I'm just imagining if I would have just said, no, I'm tired. You know, I'm just going to stay in New York. I'm going to stick to what I know. I will be tired there, possibly not doing what I want to do, because I was doing the entrepreneurial coach thing up there, but it wasn't really moving the way it's moving down here. You know, like down where I am now, it seems like everybody is, not everybody, most people are more open to networking because they realize that they need people to get things accomplished. And in the beginning, it might be a little hard, but once you establish yourself and people can see your track record, they are all for working with you. So that's what I've been doing, is like this whole year I've been going hard, building up my track record, so people can talk to other people and say, you know what, I worked with her, and yeah, she's good. I worked with her, and this is the outcome of that. And even if for some reason they weren't able to accomplish everything that they accomplished, I'm still helping them to learn themselves and grow that self-esteem and self-respect that they need in business, so that way they can be more resilient to change, okay? And that's what's needed. And in having a community, there's always going to be somebody that can help you with whatever it is that you need. Because if I don't know, I can connect you to somebody else. And if that person doesn't know, then they can connect you to somebody else. The buck doesn't stop at one person, you know, and that's what my dream and my vision is, to have it where there is like a Rolodex of people that I can reach out to, and I can connect like-minded people. I can connect same vibe people, you know, people who have that same energy. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to that. But yeah, it just makes me think, like, I've been tired a lot of times, tired of circumstances, tired of things that I was going through, and I always decided to do the opposite, because I realized that if I sit in the stench and sit in the funk, I'm still having to struggle. I'm still having to do something that I probably don't want to do, and I still am having to do something that is difficult. So why not at least do that towards a different goal? Do that towards something that I'm trying to shoot for the stars, you know, and if for some reason, or I'm sorry, shoot for the moon, and if I don't hit the moon, I'll land on the stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, or amongst the stars. Sorry. But yeah, you know, so this is my train of thought when I do stuff. I'm just like, you know, let me at least try it. Of course, sometimes it's scary because I don't have anybody there that's doing it. And sometimes I may be like almost at the top of the food chain when it comes to my group, you know. So I'm sorry, I have a phone call coming in. So yeah, it makes it a little difficult at times to just start something new. But at the end of the day, God got me, and that's all I keep thinking, and that's what I know for sure, because he's been a constant, and he has always been there, and he's always there for you too. Even if you don't believe it, even if you don't feel like you feel it, you'll get in tune and you'll see. You just have to trust and believe. Like, what I started doing was asking God for small miracles, okay? Sometimes that small miracle was for me to get my butt to work on time, okay? Getting up, getting kids dressed in the morning, and getting out, it's a lot. And especially when I had to deal with public transportation as well, man, listen, it's like I was always running. So, you know, I started to see that would work. I would ask for a small miracle. I would ask for a small miracle here or there, you know, and then I started seeing it. Then, you know, I started asking for more. But in me asking for more, it's not like I was sitting back like a queen on a throne and waiting for something to be handed to me. I was actually working with it, you know what I mean? So if I saw something started working out, I started working harder, because I'm like, okay, that worked out. Let me try something else. And that's what I needed for me. So I found my groove with God. And it definitely helped me and inspired other people that were around me, because they were like, yo, you're making something out of nothing. Like, how are you doing this? And I'm like, I'm just trying. Sometimes that's all you can do is try, because the try gets you to do it. And you can't forget that. You know, like at the end of the day, you survived 100% of the things that you've gone through at this point. If you are watching this video, you survived 100% of the things that you have gone through. Whether it's any kind of trauma, homelessness, being broke, not having parents there, not having siblings there, job issues, relationship issues, children issues. You have survived 100% of everything that you have gone through. You've got to give yourself more credit, okay? Just work on finding that groove inside yourself and get in tune with what is happening around you, so you can be the best you that you can be. Everything else will fall into place. You will find that love and find that passion of what you want to do, because people will see it and point it out to you. People have always pointed out to me that I am a resource, that I am an information station. They come to me for one thing and I'm on it, either Googling it or, you know, I might know somebody already in my head. So I've used that tool to become successful. And I feel like I'm successful now. You know, I may not have a Bentley and I may not live in a mansion and all of that. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about honing my skills of success, so that way as time goes on, I can be an expert and an authority in my craft. And that's what you need to worry about.